I'll start with you, Dr. Ramesh.
Thank you, Punita. Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Ramesh. I'm a clinician scientist with almost 23 years of clinical and academic research experience. The R&D work that we were doing at Manipal Academy, I've turned into a startup now. So I represent two startups. One is Neurasim, which is a virtual reality-based tech solution for neurodevelopmental and neurodegenerative conditions. So we use gamification as a mode to provide rehabilitation for children and adults with these conditions. The other company where I'm a VP for clinical research is Artilus, an artificial learning system private limited, an AI firm that we use AI in medical imaging, especially in the field of ophthalmology, where we use retinal images, and also we have developed the world's most affordable OCT, which is an high-end tomographic image, and we apply AI to have better reach and better diagnostic abilities to the community at large. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much, entrepreneur, to have invited me over here. The scientists sitting on this panel, I am a different person over here. They are researching on how to keep us more healthy and live longer. I'm on the solutions part of it. When we grow old, what do we do? So I'm that part. So I am the founder and CEO for Kite Senior Care, and we work with seniors, whether senior living, the senior care, and the tech platform which aids healthy aging. So all three. So we are one company which deals with the senior life. The moment you turn 60, potentially till the time you are around on this earth, we are there for you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Ankit. I am the co-founder and CEO of Loopworm. At Loopworm, we work with cultivated insects like silkworms and black soldier fly larvae. We have a novel platform to make recombinant proteins inside silkworm biofactories, where we envision that we would be able to bring the cost of recombinant proteins down by up to 10x in comparison to the existing available systems. Just for your knowledge, recombinant proteins are used for a number of applications, including the cognitive health and the longevity session that we are going to discuss now. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting. I'm Dr. Shonraj, a researcher. I work in a company called Remedio, where I work as a head of clinical research. My company works again on ophthalmic space, and we are looking at eye. And from the eye, can we predict systemic diseases? Like, can I take a picture of your eye? Can we predict future heart risk or future heart attack just by looking at the eye? So we are in process of developing the AI, and we have already bought in AI solutions to detect diabetes just by looking at the eye. So excited to be part of this panel.
Hi everyone, so I'm Pooja, as I already mentioned. I'm filling in space. I'm actually from an organization that is, we call ourselves startup, but it's actually a philanthropic organization who has been in the field as catalytic funder for biomedical research and innovation. That is Blockchain for Impact. And this is, it embarked as a vision for our founder, Sandeep Nailwal, that India needs to be more proactive, more ready for the next big health challenge, be it current, be it future. So that is why we are here. We are here to promote translational research. So I'm not an entrepreneur in that sense. I am a scientist, molecular biologist by training. Have done a lot of different things from aging research to stem cell biology and cancer research in my past academic life. And always believe that multi-sectoral collaboration is important for driving innovation in India. Very happy to be here. Thank you.
So a lot of medical experts sitting in the panel with us, though I'm not a science student, but I'll just try to use my general knowledge. Okay, so I'll start with you, Dr. Ramesh, because in your startup, Neurasim, it's for the first time we are seeing a technology like virtual reality actually changing lives for better. So, I mean, how the idea came in, how are you putting it into execution? So can you share more light on that?
Thank you, Punita. So virtual reality has been used in various aspects, right? From mostly into gamification, right? Games and entertainment industry, but there are also a lot of edutech applications. So during the R&D work, we were looking at, neurological conditions I can use a controlled visual simulation that can come in a VR to simulate the neurons in the brain. So that is how the R&D started, and slowly we looked at one use case where our current product is known as lazy eye. So children and adults with this neurodevelopmental condition have one strong eye and the other eye is weak. So to train the weaker eye, the worst thing that we were doing as clinicians was patch the good eye. It's like if you're right-handed, I tie it up and ask you to do homework with left hand. That is how boring it was for children. So there was no compliance, they were hating to come for therapy. When gamification is the now new means of approaching and engaging a person, we felt, okay, VR as a virtual reality tool is very optimal to provide individual simulations to each of the eye, and using that today, we are developing the neural connections between the eye and the brain. And what we see is, as compared to the traditional methods, the VR-based therapy is providing 2 to 6x faster outcome in these children who otherwise have a lot of problem in academics, they have problem in sports, their overall self-esteem is down, right? And with this, we are able to make better impact and bring a improvement in the quality of life. And that's how we use VR in neurodevelopmental conditions like amblyopia.
So, Dr. Rima, if I ask you, I mean, you are dealing in the space of senior care, and when you, start using new age technologies like AI or maybe machine learning and other things, I mean, while dealing in this sector, I mean, does it make much difference, and how adoptive are these use cases when you go to seniors at that level?
So senior care is a long journey, starting 30 to 40 years to start with right now, and we're talking about longevity. We are seeing people living 100 plus. So let's stick to the 30 and 40 years of life. So where AI and technology is used is in the first few years when they are just entered into the seniorhood, if I may call it, where to keep yourself healthy, independent as long as possible and as affordable as possible. So that is where these AI tools of the VR he's talking about, or various others, health monitoring systems, smart watches, etc. These are all technologies that are used to keep eye on their wellness part of it. So it's very important when they are healthy aging elders. Coming to when they are older, when they require more care than the living part, that's more need than luxury. We talk about treatment interventions, even if it is dementia or rehabilitation, it is physiotherapy or cognitive retraining that we talk about. Technology definitely is adding a lot of value, but at this point in time, because when we talk about old age care, one issue, one challenge that comes out is the cost. It's out of pocket expense, and at that later part in life, technology, though very useful, but becomes unaffordable, even for the people who can afford. Insurance is not paying it. So that's part. Technology, though very enticing, we want to use it, but there are very few users for it. And I'm sure as we go along, if the costs come lower, the use will be more, because over here when we talk about aging, it's not the years that we need to add. Whatever we do right now, with the kind of lifestyle we are leading, we will live longer, whatever you do. The only thing that we need to talk about right now is how well we will live. And technology definitely will add a lot of value in independent aging as well as the care part of it, or the last parts of their life.
So Ankit, coming to you, you're using silkworms to make sustainable and high value biopharma proteins. So how are you doing that?
So the silk that we wear is essentially 98% protein, which essentially means that silkworms are one of the most efficient converters of crop biomass to proteins. What we are leveraging is basically this capability of silkworm to make a bunch of proteins, a bunch of structural proteins, a lot of different kinds of proteins which can be used for multiple applications. And we have developed a method which doesn't genetically modify the silkworm in the process as well. So because there are regulatory challenges the moment you genetically modify an organism. So it's essentially being produced in the silkworm's body, but without genetically modifying it. What we are doing is we're using a transient system, which basically is just imagine a magic liquid inserted in a silkworm, and which uses the silkworm's body as a factory, as a mini bioreactor to make the protein of our choice. Now, that protein can be growth factors, which can be used for a lot of regenerative medicines. It is used for post-surgery care as well. It could be proteins required for diagnostic kits, like antigens. It could be vaccines or antibodies, which can be produced, but it would be produced in that tiny insect in comparison to, say, a sophisticated bioreactor or a sophisticated brewery, if you can imagine that. So this in turn would reduce the entire cost of making such high-value proteins, which has endless applications.
Interesting. So, Dr. Shonraj, coming to you, at Remedio, what are the new age solutions through which you're going to revolutionize the healthcare space?
So at Remedio, we have this handheld portable fundus camera, what we call it as, right? So what it does is it takes a picture of the eye, and eye is a very interesting organ because eye is the only place in human body where you can see microvasculature and nerve fibers without cutting open. Okay. So what we do is we take the pictures of the eye, and from the pictures we can predict various systemic risks, including future heart risk, future kidney, chronic kidney disease risks. So by using a non-invasive technology and by predicting and doing a preventive healthcare, we are revolutionizing, the healthcare space at Remedio.
So, Pooja, coming to you, using blockchain to further impact a space like biomedical, how are the two traversing the same path? Can you share more light on that?
Sure. So, at least right now in our name, the blockchain is used because we wanted to acknowledge the community that gave the funds. Having said that, our founder is very well known. He's a co-founder for Polygon, which is very actively used in blockchain. So coming as a technology, blockchain, I think, has a lot of potential in various aspects, definitely in the medical aspects, from simple things like patient healthcare data to basically ensuring that you actually, where there is a supply and demand, you meet that, right? So supply chain. Everything is being touched with blockchain. People are already employing it. Moving forward, I think definitely there will be. But in this case, in blockchain for impact, we are actually thanking the community that gave funds to promote impact in biomedical innovation in India. So that is how the name is in this case.
Okay. So picking a cue from what you said, that expense and the medical cost is very high even for senior care. Even if I ask you also, Dr. Ramesh, the kind of cost you mentioned for the VR therapy for kids is very high. So do you think cost is actually a challenge in the adoption for medical technology?
So accessibility and affordability are two things that a country like India, not only India, but globally, that's a challenge, right? So especially in elderly care, as ma'am had beautifully said about the, post our earning period, it's kind of a challenge. So technologies that are developing are also coming out in a way that makes it more affordable to them. Say, for example, the one that we're working on, the current R&D, the next product that's going to come from Neurasim is going to be, we use eye tracking as a very good indicator for brain health. Okay, say a patient with Parkinsonism is there, we call it smooth pursuit eye movement. If they follow something, okay, their eye movements start to frittle. So today's wearables, for example, you have spectacles coming with eye tracking, with cameras in it. So gone are the days where things are going to be so expensive as a device altogether. But as you go further in the next decade, we are really seeing the Moore's law for everything that is going on to a hockey stick kind of a growth. So tomorrow the technology will be, we'll have eye tracking, we are working on that, and we'll also be integrating with more affordable solutions. So a patient with Parkinsonism can simply wear a glass that can track their eye movement, and the doctor can know how good is the treatment working for them. Okay. Secondly, cameras are getting much better. So a smartphone which had a very poor photograph with my the brick Nokia which I had, right, to today's smarter phone, the cameras are getting more and more smarter, multiple cameras are there. So with just a camera we can track the eye movements and also look at other reactions of the eye. So I think it is more with how technology is trying to solve something which improves the quality of life, and it is not like purchase power should not be the point of view is what I'm looking at. If there is a service available and we can make it available and affordable and improve the quality of life of elderly, then that is more impactful, right? Rather than looking at, okay, the core infrastructure cost that will happen, right? Say if you have to buy a fundus imaging, that cost about 7 lakhs. But that will help me screen millions of elderly at a locality, right? So that is where we look at how we can share and make it more affordable. Right.
So Dr. Rima, I mean, how are you bringing down the cost? Are you partnering with insurance companies, with hospitals? I mean, what are your plans?
Not with hospitals, because for them outside hospital care is not the priority. They are dealing with the patients who come to them. That's more acute case that they talk about. So it's out of hospital care, so we don't tie up with the hospitals. Insurance companies, unfortunately, I was talking earlier, would have been nice if they were able to partake in the senior care part of it. Till now, the models, whether in developed countries, are not as robust even for seniors. And in India, we are quite early in that particular point in time. So there is no insurance help that whatsoever the seniors receive. Apart from a few where the children are working in some multinational company and as part of the family floater, they get some kind of relief. But it's nothing happening. From government's point of view, yes, a small step has been taken. Hopefully, it will show that it is, is good for the elders. Is the Ayushman Bharat scheme, where 70 plus they are giving cover to the family. Till now, I have not seen anybody being gung-ho about it, because we deal with at least 3,000 seniors on a daily basis, and we have not seen any positive impact coming out of it. Hopefully, going forward, there will be some changes that may happen. In my personal opinion, if they had included the outpatient or the the wellness part of the plan in this particular Ayushman Bharat, would have led to motivation of the elders going and getting themselves checked on a regular basis, rather than getting and spend small amount of money rather than going into a hospital and spending in lakhs. So that is some innovations that need to happen. So unfortunately, as far as seniors are concerned, that is why, I mean, there's one commonality that we have seen with seniors, whether they are rich seniors or poor seniors: desire to pay. The seniors would rather pay for the P5 PlayStation for their grandchildren rather than paying for themselves. So that's the change that we need to bring out, which is, we are seeing the new age elders that we call, the elders who will turn 60 today, tomorrow, this year, next year, are different thinkers. The people who are 55 today would be a different kind of seniors. So these are the different, the seniors who will adopt new technology, new things, new solutions, new way of life. So that seems very bullish if we look at that, next 10-year scenario, as you were saying. So we are talking about not the 70s and 80s seniors today, but the 50s who will turn seniors tomorrow. It definitely is huge, increase would be there for adapting all these solutions.
Can I add a point? Yeah. So Ma'am was talking about Ayushman Bharat. So our company, Artilis, we partner very well with governments through the ABDM scheme. That is the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. All of you would have heard this term ABA card, right? So now what is happening is to enable so the middle class, the elderly, and the below the poverty line, and even otherwise to enhance preventive care the government is supporting entities, doctors and clinics by providing them with, if I do a retinal screening, right, the doctor will get almost nearly about 2 to 2,500 rupees for every patient I screen. So this reduces the burden on hospital where they have spent in infrastructure, but they could provide a quality care. And medical device companies, startups in India like us, we partner with institutions and get support from the ABDM scheme to ensure we go screen more patients and provide them with quality care. So things are changing, and it is more about, I don't see a 10-year long period, ma'am. I think the hockey stick will be quite soon. Even the 70s would adopt more technology because their grandchildren are asking them to. They are the ones who are putting the glasses onto them. So that's how I see it.
Well said. So Ankit, I'll come to you again. If we talk about the potential of silkworm protein, I mean, how adoptive are, people in India, and also, I think overseas is also a big market for you.
So I'll classify the solutions that say silkworms or insects in general can bring into say for people or for animals also. So companion animals is our first focus market. What we feel as a great strategy is whatever works for humans works for dogs and cats as well. And it's very easy to convince people for dogs and cats first, right? Especially from a longevity perspective, right? It becomes very convenient there. So when it comes to silkworms, there are a number of products that we are getting into, not just with silkworms, but also with the silk. So silk is, like I said, a protein. Sericin and fibroin, which are the two main proteins of silk, are established and well proven to have anti-aging, like UV protection properties, antimicrobial properties as well, which can be leveraged for a number of things. The sutures that we use are essentially silk proteins, which is the stitches. So like the self-dissolving stitches are more or less silk proteins. We have come up with a medicinal mushroom which can be grown on silkworms. It is an entomopathogenic fungus essentially, so it was meant to grow on insects in nature. We see 5 times more cordycepin content in it. It is actually a very well-known mushroom, but people don't look at, say, the biomolecule which is giving you the benefits from it. So if you are growing it on rice bran versus if you are growing it on insects, makes a lot of difference to what the fungus gives you as a property. That is one thing, and nobody is afraid of mushrooms in general, if it is considering India. Another thing that we saw was a bunch of insects, especially in Asian ancient medicines, right? So let us call it, say, the Asian Ayurveda, right? Had a lot of insects in them. So silkworms predominantly were used to solve for fatty liver issues. It has a biomolecule called 1-DNJ, which is proven to inhibit alpha-glucosidase activity, which is basically an anti-diabetic or an anti-obesity agent in general. It's proven for humans, but it is 40 times more in a silkworm in comparison to, say, the mulberry leaves that it eats. So essentially it is bioaccumulating the things that they are eating, and it is true for almost all insects. Whatever you feed them gets bioaccumulated in their bodies, gets concentrated in their bodies, and then it becomes very lucrative for us to either use the insect directly. Let's not imagine the whole insects which we have seen, say, Bear Grylls eat in Man vs. Wild. Let us look at it from an extract perspective, a powder, a flour, right? So the look and feel is going to be the same as, say, the atta that we eat, or say the extracts for which we just take a couple of drops with a dropper, right? We just have to wrap up our heads around the concept that if we are okay with shrimps, which are aquatic insects in general, or if we are okay with cod liver oil, once the doctor says that you have to take this for arthritis or osteoporosis, right, we should be okay with insect-based products as well. So that is the India problem. Southeast Asia, Asia actually becomes a very good market for us because they are already eating it, using it in their products. So it's better that we prove it first in those geographies where it is more acceptable and then bring it back to India.
So, Dr. Shonraj, I will come to you. Since you are heading research, how do you see the adoption of AI in healthcare overall?
Okay, it's picking up. Let me give an example. So now we are collaborating with Kerala government. Now, if you go to Kerala, every CHCs, okay, CHCs are there for every 10,000 to 1 million population, are now powered with our AI powered fundus cameras. So whoever comes to the CHCs will be scanned for diabetic retinopathy using our camera, and they are referred to the main hospitals for further treatments. On top of that, we also recently conducted this Mahakumbh happened recently, right? So it's getting over today. We had this Netra Kumbh there, where again we placed our AI-powered fundus cameras. So a large amount of people got screened using this, and they got referred it for the further treatment. So this is among public. Among doctors, if you ask me, doctors were skeptical. I won't say they are skeptical now, okay? Especially after your Gen AI, ChatGPT came in, people are more curious. Doctors right now, if you ask me, in India, are curious to use AI. They want to use AI. Right now, AI is definitely not the final diagnosis. It is used as a decision support system. It is, they take a decision or they take a diagnosis, and the diagnosis is further confirmed by AI. That's how it's happening, and that's how I want it to be very honestly. So AI acts like a decision supporting systems, and doctors are more curious now to test this AI into their practice to see whether that can be any value addition to it. So we have already integrated our AI systems in major eye care hospitals in India, and doctors have started using it.
Okay. Pooja, I come to you and want to understand the intersection of technology in the biomedical space. How do you look at it? What are the new trends you think we are going to witness?
Okay, great. First of all, thank you. And this is a very unique panel. And I don't know how many of you all are from this background, but very, very intriguing. I did my postdoc at an institute called Buck Institute for Research on Aging. It's in Northern California. And there we are looking at the whole institute was set up with intention for looking at aging and age-related disorder. Right? So I was looking at maybe caloric restriction or muscle atrophy, but the whole institute was looking at cancer, but in the context of aging, neurodegeneration in context of aging, eye in context of aging. And it was a very nice community. So you can't dissect. So human body as a whole, as you age, you will accumulate disorders because our body functions changes. And I think what I have seen that 15 years, in the last 15 years since I've been a postdoc and now, technology goes hand in hand with research. Technology enables researchers to find out more. Like he said, AI is now integrated in eye diagnosis. It's helping the doctors to diagnose better, right? And the sooner you diagnose a disorder, the better you can treat, the healthier you will live, right? And, I will be there 10, 15 years later, and I find this a very exciting time. Yeah, and part of the reason why, as Blockchain for Impact, what we want to do is nudge those technology, nudge people who are doing research to translate that so that we can have products for healthcare and products that are available for the masses, right? So we are hoping to de-risk it. Now the technologies I feel that will make a big difference, of course, AI is one. There is gene editing, which you are talking about, not directly, but you are applying gene editing. And you're both applying AI, all the technology, medical devices. Medical devices industry is going to go from 11 billion to 50 billion by 2030. It's a phenomenal surge. I think with technology, with wearables, like we discussed, a lot of things are changing the way we are becoming well aware. I think technology should be considered hand in hand, and technology will help us in better, healthy aging. With diagnosis, with therapy, with devices, be whatever. So I think AI is definitely going to make an impact, but I think there is a huge number of different technologies. And being at blockchain, so we are partnering with institutes, incubators, startup, medical sector, trying to bring them together. Because again, technology cannot be with one sector alone, and it needs different people to take it to fruition. If I build a technology for somebody who's aging, but I don't work with the doctor or somebody who understands aging in elderly, it's not going to be very useful. So I think there is a lot of potential. It's very exciting. I'm sorry, this is very passionate. As I said, I did aging research, so I'm very passionate about it. But I think there is a lot of potential, and AI is going to be one of the key drivers in that.
Punita, if I can add.
Sure.
So the aspects of AI and how technology is shaping. So in Atlas, what we have enabled is the fundus imaging camera we coupled with robotics. So what is the problem? Why did we have to do it? Let us look at India, say a 1.4 billion population with just 30,000 ophthalmologists, and optometry colleagues like me and Dr. Shonraj are somewhere around another 30,000. So just 60,000 professionals, and we train so many people, but is it enough to cater to the needs of the whole country? Right? You can really see the parity that is there, right? We're not able to provide equitable care. So with robotics and AI-powered solution, what we have now worked on, it's currently happening today, is in Sikkim, we have a 5G-enabled facility and 5G-enabled public health centers across various hill towns. And doctors sitting in Bangalore are now in the comfort of their AC room, sitting here and doing a retinal screening of a patient in the eastern part of our country. And through this example, we were also privileged to screen our Honorable Prime Minister when he was our doctors were in Calcutta, but he was in Bharat Mandapam. We took the photograph using a robotic tool where just a 7-year-old, my own daughter, who can simply operate it, right? So we have made it operator independent, so that just by a touch of a button, you can take the photograph of the eye. And the moment you do that, automatically the AI, which is trained with over 1 million data sets of clinical data, gives you a report at 96% accuracy. So you have an eye doctor next to you wherever you are. That is how technology is going to help. And in diabetology, in every care, this is where we see technology integrated into public health sector is going to revolutionize, ensure that equitable and accessible and more importantly, affordable care will be there for the masses.
With the kind of knowledge each one of you have, I want the discussion to go on and on, but I know we have a paucity of time and we would like to conclude it here. And I think with the kind of innovations each one of them has, we can surely say we will be in the pink of health in the coming times. So thank you so much, all our panelists, and congratulations on the kind of work you all have been doing. Thank you.